मैं आपको एक बात बता दूं, ये बताना इसलिए भी ज़रूरी है कि हमारी अपेक्षा है कि कम से कम हम 15 से 20 लाख लोगों को नौकरी देंगे, डायरेक्ट इनडायरेक्ट, एज a result of this incentive. In consultation with the industry, we have come to this estimation that because of the great initiative we are announcing today, we hope to generate employment potential of 15 to 20 lakh direct and indirect. और बाकी लाखों करोड़ के रूप में यहाँ पर इन्वेस्टमेंट आएगा, ये तो उनका असेसमेंट होगा, लेकिन हमें पूरा विश्वास है कि ये आत्मनिर्भर उदयमान भारत की दिशा में आज का निर्णय बहुत बड़ा कदम है। आपको मालूम है कि हमारे कुछ और भी उपलब्धियां रही हैं जो इसको सपोर्ट करती हैं। ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस में भारत आज कंट्री में 63 नंबर पर है। वी हैव सरपास सो मेनी स्केल्स, यू नो इट वेरी वेल। हमारा जो कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स रेट है वो भी 15% है। हमारे यहाँ 50,000 का लगभग स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम है जो आज दुनिया में सेकंड हो गया है। और भारत का टेक्नोलॉजी का ह्यूमन रिसोर्स है। द ह्यूमन रिसोर्स, टेक्नोलॉजी, प्रोफेशनल कॉम्पिटेंस, a government fully supportive and incentivizing, and overall new image of India which has emerged under the leadership of Narendra Modi as a global power of stability, commitment, professionalism and encouraging manufacturing. ये जो हमारी पूरी क्षमता है, इसका हम पूरा उपयोग करेंगे, ऐसा मुझे लगता है मित्रों। तो आज का दिन एक बहुत ही ऐतिहासिक दिन है। इन आरंभिक टिप्पणियों के साथ मुझे लगा कि ये बात मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूं अंत में कि सपने देखना अपने आप में गलत नहीं है, लेकिन जब सपनों की उड़ान मजबूत तभी होती है जब आपके पैर मजबूत स्थान पे खड़े होते हैं। और हमने इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की दिशा में ये 3 गाइडलाइन लगा करके जो दुनिया में भारत की प्रतिभा को, आत्मनिर्भर भारत को एक ग्लोबल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इकोसिस्टम और ग्लोबल सप्लाई चेन के रूप में जो बढ़ाने का निर्णय किया है, वो इसलिए किया है कि हमारी 6 साल की सफलता है। Friend, with these words, I conclude my initial comments. I'll be taking questions after Ajay's presentation. In some questions, I would like Amitabh also to pitch in. उनकी भी समझदारी है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, अभिनंदन आप लोग का। अरे नहीं, ताली ताली नहीं ताली।
मैं इनवाइट करता हूँ सेक्रेटरी मेटी के लिए प्रेजेंटेशन का।
Respected Union Minister for Electronics and Information Technology, Law and Justice, Communications, Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad ji, respected Minister Shri Sanjay Dhotre ji, my esteemed colleague, senior colleague Shri Amitabh Kant ji, under whose constant guidance and support we have been able to give a very good shape to these very ambitious schemes. My colleague Shri Saurabh Gaur ji and people from the industry, media persons, eminent people. It's a great pleasure for me today to be here and to be able to present the contours of 3 very important schemes. The production linked incentive scheme, the scheme for production of electronic components and semiconductors, and the electronic manufacturing cluster scheme with a new twist, with a new fervor. So I would like to take you through a very short presentation. As our Honorable Minister mentioned, in 2014-15, we were our production in all of electronics was $29 billion. And imports at that point of time in electronics was $38 billion. And in 4 years' time, the production went up to $70 billion. Imports also went up because many of the things that we produce require components to be imported. But imports went up to $57 billion from 38, and production went up to $70 billion from 29. So if we see what are the different sectors in which this growth happened, a little bit of growth happened in computer hardware from 2.8 to $3.3 billion. More growth happened in strategic electronics, including defense electronics, from 2.4 billion to $4 billion. Further growth happened in consumer electronics from 8.5 to $11.2 billion. Electronic components grew from 6 to 9.6 during this time. Industrial electronics grew even better from 6 to 11.5. But the best growth was from $2.9 billion in mobile devices to $24.3 billion in mobile devices over this 4-year period. It was a huge growth that happened. And India's share in global manufacturing in electronics went up from 1.3 to 3%. And exports were somewhat flat in the early years. Then in the last year, which I have shown here, it went up from 6.4 to $8.8 billion, showing an increase of 38% in 1 year. So all this has built a very strong foundation on which we are now trying to build something extraordinarily large. Our aim is that India should be a global hub for mobile phones and for component manufacturing. And we should manufacture so much that it is not just for Indian market. A good part of it will also go into exports, so that we join the global value chain in a very significant manner. We are trying to attract some of the best firms globally. Many of them are already in India. Many of them have started production in India. We expect them to make use of this opportunity to grow their business many fold. And finally, we want mobile phones to become our largest exported item, with Make in India being the theme. Though we ourselves are a huge market, but mobile phones have a tremendous opportunity of making available mobile phones manufactured in India to satisfy the demand across the globe. This, we hope, will help us increase our GDP, improve taxation, improve tax revenue, and also have a huge impact on jobs. Over the past 4 years, what has grown, first of all, the mobile handsets, which I had already indicated. LCD and LED TVs production also grew very quickly. LED products grew extremely fast, and in many of these we are also active now in the export markets. The sectors which are emerging as strong players, apart from mobile phones, are the sectors of automobile electronics, medical electronics, industrial electronics, strategic electronics, which includes defense, and telecom products as well. So these are the sectors for all of which what we are going to do now will make and give it a huge impetus, not just to mobile phones, but to all of these sectors together. Mobile manufacturing, as our Honorable Minister has already mentioned, the mobile manufacturing units went up almost 100-fold. The number of mobile handsets produced went up very rapidly, and the value of handsets also grew almost 10-fold in this period. There are 3 very important schemes that are now being unveiled. The schemes were notified on 2nd of April, but now the guidelines have also been approved. So now the schemes will be open for companies to apply and to make from today itself. And I will show the websites also where the details of those schemes are available, because those are ready to go. The 3 schemes are the production linked incentive scheme for large scale mobile manufacturing, also to give support to component manufacturing and to ATMP process in case of semiconductors. The scheme for promotion of manufacturing of components and semiconductors. Again, this is a capex subsidy scheme for the entire supply chain. Now, this is where it is components not just for mobile phones, but for all the mobile sectors or all the electronic sectors. The components are more or less similar. So once we have the supply chain in India, we can hope for a huge growth in each of those sectors. The third one is very large electronic manufacturing clusters, each of which will have at least one anchor industry, a large industry, on the model of what we have seen in case of Maruti Suzuki or others, where a major company comes in, and along with that the ancillaries, the supply chain also comes in alongside, close to that area. And the overall incentives would go up to almost $6.5 billion or more. The production linked incentive will offer an incentive of 4 to 6% of the production as an incentive for a period of 5 years. The target segments for this are mobile phones and electronic components. The outlay for this particular scheme is about 41,000 crores. The application dates are open from now till 31st of July. The base year for this is 2019-20. What we incentivize is not the overall production. What we incentivize is production over and above the production levels that were achieved in the base year. So if you have achieved something in 2019-20, that is treated as the base. What is it that you will produce as an incremental production over that? And very steep expectation is there. For whatever you produce on top of the base is what gets incentivized. In this, the incentives will be applicable from 1st of August this year itself. So we expect many of the companies are in good readiness today to go quickly, and we expect that they will be in proper production cycle at the earliest during this year itself. The portal that we have set up, IFCI is taken by us as our partner for rolling out the scheme, and IFCI has already prepared the portal for this, where the guidelines are available, which is ready to receive the applications. This is a quick screenshot for that. This is once again, this is the application form, and many of the details by going to this portal can be taken from that portal. We are all in readiness, whether it is Invest India, whether it is Ministry of Electronics and IT, whether it is IFCI, all of us are in readiness to do hand-holding, to help the investors understand what needs to be done, and to help you, make you comfortable while applying for the scheme, and make you comfortable and successful when you actually come in and invest. The second major scheme is the scheme for promotion of electronic components and semiconductors, specs. This provides a 25% capex incentive on a reimbursement basis on certain aspects. Plant, machinery, equipment, R&D, utilities, and transfer of technology. Those are the segments which are eligible. The target segments for this are all the active components, all the passive components that go into electronics, semiconductors, ATMP, the assembly, testing, marking, and packaging segment for semiconductors, and specialized sub-assemblies that are also useful for electronic products. There is this remains open for 3 years for investors to apply, and it remains open for 5 years for investment. So this is a major scheme. Once again, and in this, the minimum investment thresholds are not very high. The investment thresholds are ranging from 5 crore to players as well to come in strongly and be a part of this huge manufacturing boom that we expect in India. The portal for that is ready. Specs, this is the screenshot of that portal. Once again, it is ready, so people can go and get their details, and this is the application form. third scheme is the Modified Electronics Manufacturing Cluster Scheme 2.0. We earlier had a scheme where we have almost now more than 3,500 acres developed and ready to go. This will add to that pool. And this will add to that pool not just with a large manufacturing cluster, but with facilities like hostels and many other ready-built sheds, so that the companies don't have to spend too much time in the initial phase. They can come in within 4 to 6 months, they should be in production in India. So this is basically for that purpose, and in this the state implementing agencies will be our partners, and we will also build on top of corridor facilities which Amitabh Kantji had anchored initially, and where many of the cities are now ready as industrial cities, ready to go. So this will join that pool, and we will make full use of this to offer almost ready-built infrastructure to companies that want to come in. Again, in this, the Software Technology Parks of India is our implementing partner, and their site is also ready. This is a screenshot of that site. The scheme outcomes that we expect is a very major expansion of the manufacturing base on the lines of what has happened in China, in Korea, in Taiwan, in many other countries, in a number of other countries as well. A very high level of generation of employment, foreign exchange savings, and also when we have exports, then we balance what we spend on imports through exports, a much higher value addition as compared to what we have been able to achieve currently. And finally, I think this is extraordinarily important, a trusted value chain. Because not just in India, across the globe, we are more and more keen to have trusted value chain of electronics. We hope to contribute tremendously to creating a trusted value chain. And these are some of the incentives. Together, these incentives make it very attractive for companies to come in and invest in India. And I hope that major investors will come and join the already very good pool of investors and global brands which are present in India today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the presentation. I'll now request CEO Niti Ayog, sir. You have been associated with the project, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, many years later, when you look back, you'll find today's day will be a path-breaking day, because under the Atmanirbhar Bharat concept of the Honorable Prime Minister, our attempt is to build some champion sectors who will drive India's growth and create jobs. And actually, mobile phones and electronic components is the first sector where we've made a breakthrough. And today's schemes, the three schemes that have been talked about, the production-linked incentives, components and specifications, and electronic manufacturing cluster scheme, these three combined will bring size and scale to India. They will bring the global value chain, and they will enable India to become a leading exporter of mobiles and electronic products. More than anything else, these will enable India to become totally self-reliant, but penetrate global markets, because of the huge amount of what will happen as a consequence of these three schemes together is like many years back when we built up the auto component sector, we built the entire value chain. We were able to do the same thing in pharmaceuticals. But now what we are doing in electronics and mobiles is to do the entire high value addition. And this high value addition will enable global supply chains to come into India and create vast amount of jobs, also do value addition. I was very fortunate to work with the METI ministry under the leadership of the Honorable Minister, and I wanted to just compliment his leadership because he was extremely inspirational. He was very clear in his perspective. And wanted to congratulate him and his entire team, the MOS, Mr. Ajay Sahani, Mr. Sanjay, the Joint Secretary. Everyone has worked as a dedicated team. And along with us, I think Finance Secretary, Mr. Ajay Bhushan Pandey, Mr. Tarun Bajaj, and Mr. Somanathan, all have worked. We have all worked as a team to make electronics and mobile phone manufacturing the #1 sector of India. And you will see the results coming in the next 2 to 3 years. You will see all the top manufacturers of the world coming to India, not only for India, but for the global markets. And this credit goes entirely to the leadership of Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad and to the exceptional vision of the Honorable Prime Minister of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, with your permission, I would also say one thing, that Niti Aayog, METI and IT industry has done a great favor for the media industry. In early 80s, we were working with the manual typewriters and the stencils. Today, with the mobile, media industry is flourishing. So thank you very much, sir, for this contribution.
Thank you.
Now I'll request 22.
22.
Yeah. Wait. Get the number, please.
सर मैं आमिर हूँ न्यूज़ नेशन से। सवाल सर ये है कि थैंक यू। सवाल ये है सर कि काफ़ी इंडस्ट्रीज़ भारत में आई हैं, लेकिन कंपोनेंट्स को लेकर के काफ़ी ज़्यादा दिक्कत आती है जब मैन्युफैक्चरर्स यहाँ पे मौजूद होते हैं और सारा कंपोनेंट कहीं ना कहीं चाइना से बड़ी मात्रा में आता है। तो क्या चाइना पर निर्भरता इससे कम होगी, आपको लगता है?
देखिए, मैं पहले ये बात बता दूं आपको कि कंपोनेंट की मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में हिंदुस्तान में शुरू हुई है। इसको और तेज करने की ज़रूरत है। इसी दिशा में कार्यक्रम है। और जैसे मैंने पहले भी बताया, ये पूरा हमारा जो कार्यक्रम है ये भारत सापेक्ष है। आत्मनिर्भर भारत, भारत की प्रतिभा, भारत की क्षमता और भारत की योग्यता बढ़ाने का कार्यक्रम है। दुनिया की इकोनॉमी को मजबूत करने के दृष्टिकोण से ये समझना चाहिए।
नंबर 11।
सर, मेरा सवाल ये है कि क्या कोई कट ऑफ डेट रखी गई है कंपनियों के एप्लीकेशंस के लिए, और इस प्रोसेस में कितना टाइम लगेगा, और क्या क्राइटेरिया है इंसेंटिव देने का, अगर इस पे थोड़ा
मेरे ख्याल में अजय के प्रेजेंटेशन में सारी बातें लिखी हुई हैं। आप वेबसाइट पे जाइए, 31/7/20 की डेट तो PLI के बारे में है, ये सब लिखा हुआ है। इसलिए, और जहाँ तक तेज गति से निर्णय करने का सवाल है, अगर हमने इतने छोटे समय में दुनिया की इतनी बड़ी स्कीम बना दी तो इसको सफल करने में हम कोई विलंब नहीं करेंगे, ये आपको हम कहना चाहते हैं।
Number 10.
So basically you said that initially there will be 10 companies, 5 global and 5 Indian. So what is the criteria to select the top 10? And second thing is that, will the subsidy amount equally distributed between the global ones and the Indian ones?
Let me tell you very clearly and categorically, in my initial comment I have myself stated it has two components. Initially, 5 global champions and 5 Indian company as national champions. We are very keen that our own mobile companies also become globally competitive, professionally powerful, and keep the flag bearers of our tricolor. That is our ambition. तो वो भी करेंगे। अब जहाँ तक सवाल है, हमारे गाइडलाइन में नॉर्म है, आपका टर्नओवर कितना होना चाहिए, आप किस क्वालिटी किस रेट की मोबाइल बनाते हैं, वो सब सिस्टम तय करेगा। उसके बारे में मुझे कोई टिप्पणी नहीं करनी है, बट देयर इज ए प्रॉपर ट्रांसपेरेंट सिस्टम इन प्लेस इन द गाइडलाइन वेयर बाय द सिलेक्शन नॉर्म शैल बी फॉलोड।
33.
Kalp from Reuters. So I wanted to ask you, just building on Kiran's question, आपने 5 global और 5 Indian companies की बात करी, उनकी guidelines select करेंगी, लेकिन जब आपने policy बनाई सर, तो policies are made with industry in mind. So can you give us a sense of what these 5 companies might look like, the global ones especially? And आप लोगों ने मेटी से काफ़ी effort करा है कि companies like Samsung expand their base, and they have. Apple expands their base. You all went to Taiwan to get Pegatron here. I wanted to ask, sir, what is the progress on that front? Because Pegatron is one company which is very big as a contract manufacturer, is not yet in India, but you all are making efforts. So if a comment could be made on that, please.
You see, my point is very simple. I said initially 5 companies, mark my word. And I choose my word carefully with great respect to you. Therefore, we are just launching the scheme. And as I said in my initial comment, there was a rationale as to why picking up 5 companies in the first instance. Because globally, 5 to 6 companies dominate about 75 to 80% of mobile manufacturing market. But how they apply, by themselves or through their contract manufacturers, these I should not comment. This guideline is industry specific. You should be very clear about it. As regards, I should not also speak about a particular company making effort. Why not? In my initial days, I went to South Korea, I went to Germany, my officers went to Taiwan. Why not? That's how we sell India. And that's how we have been able to convert. This process, as a proactive government, proactive minister, proactive Niti Ayog, proactive finance ministry, and proactive my MeitY will always continue in quest of a resurgent India.
53, yeah. Amit, yeah.
सर आत्मनिर्भर अभियान की तरफ जोर है, तो क्या जिस तरह से कंपनियां भारत में आएंगी, अभी अब नंबर 2 है, आप कह रहे हैं नंबर 1 हो जाएंगे, कंपोनेंट के लिए भी भारत में हो रहा है, तो क्या आने वाला वक्त ऐसा होगा जब मेड इन चाइना जैसी मोबाइल भारत में नहीं होंगी, सिर्फ मेड इन इंडिया मोबाइल भारत में होगा?
देखिए, मैंने आरंभ में ही कहा कि आत्मनिर्भर भारत की परिकल्पना सिर्फ भारत सापेक्ष है। हम किसी देश के विरोध की बात नहीं करते हैं। हम भारत की क्षमता और भारत की प्रतिभा बढ़ाने का संकल्प लेते हैं, और वो हमारा आत्मविश्वास हमारे पूर्व के 5 वर्षों के काम के आधार पर आधारित है। और मैंने फिर कहा, ये हमारा पूरा गाइडलाइन इंडस्ट्री स्पेसिफिक है। कौन इंडस्ट्री अप्लाई करती है, उसकी अपनी क्षमता क्या है, गाइडलाइन में उनका कंप्लायंस कितना है, ये इंडस्ट्री तय करेगी। इसके बारे में हमारी सोच स्पष्ट है।
Last question, number 10.
So one question, Ashmit Kumar from CNBC TV 18. The question that I had, sir, is that the benefits under this scheme, under the 3 schemes, and investments coming in from overseas, will the benefits also extend to maybe Chinese investments looking to manufacture here in India? Is that something?
I think again you are making a hypothetical question. I have said it very clearly and categorically that self-reliant India is only India specific. It is not against any country. Second, the scheme is industry specific. And let that industry concern apply if they qualify and comply with the eligibility criteria laid down in the guideline or not. Let me conclude by the very bold assertion that this whole scheme, the 3 guidelines, are designed to empower the technological manufacturing capacity of India and Indians. This should be very clear. And I am quite sure that the way our companies have shown result on our call in the last 5 years, and the way many global companies of repute have made India a big center of their manufacturing process, would be a great asset.
Sir, with your permission, actually, one more question is coming from 16 and we can take it as the last question.
Yes,
sir.
yes. जितने क्वेश्चन कहिए वो तो पूछेंगे ही, राजनीतिक सवाल नहीं।
जी सर, जी सर। सर नमस्ते, संतोष ठाकुर। सर, कोई सप्लाई चेन जिससे बातचीत चल रही हो, अगर कोई नाम आप बता पाएं 1-2 कंपनी सप्लाई चेन्स का?
आज का दिन किसी का नाम खोलने की जरूरत नहीं है। आपसे मेरा बहुत विनम्र आग्रह ये है, आप बहुत ही अनुभवी पत्रकार हैं, कि ऐसे सप्लाई चेन की सफलता आपको दिखाई पड़े तो उस पर थोड़ा जागरूकता से आप लिखिए और लोगों को बताइए।
Number 10, yeah, last. Tell you. Please use mic. Use mic. He's there.
You did not answer about the subsidy dispersal, sir. Like, will it be reserved for the Indian companies will an equal amount, or it depends on the amount of production?
I have already told you that 5 Indian champion companies are earmarked. Okay? Their threshold is close to 100 crores. That process in the guideline will work in terms of the guideline itself. We have laid down a elaborate, transparent guideline qualifications in the entire system. Therefore, nothing for speculation. Those who meet will be allocated. But yes, today let me conclude with a pious hope that I have been very keen to see India's national champions competing with the global champions. This particular 3 schemes and the guideline sure would propel, and I have full trust in the capacity, talent and commitment of Indian players to rise to the occasion.
I think technology is giving us even last minute joining also. Huh?
Acha,
So
all right,
61.
all right. Acha, all right.
Yeah, last question, yeah, please.
You mentioned that there will be local value addition of 20 to 40% through these schemes. So, are there any binding clause which ask companies to procure from domestic companies like preferential market access?
Well, those are separate issues. As far as our guidelines are concerned, they speak for themselves. The guidelines are properly available in public domain. You go through it, you will get all the answers.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, friends. Thank you very much. Right, this-
We'll surely consider about it.
I think.
Thank
yes,
you.
answer.
Namaste.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amitabh. Thank you, sir. Great day.